Hello guys, it's James and we're back for our round 12 footy bets. Oh yeah, it's been a frustrating couple of weeks and stuff. I swear to God, this stretch has been going on for like 3 weeks now, but it's super annoying because I'm not doing anything different. I'm not doing any like crazy outlandish bets, or I feel like I've been sticking to the process that I've been doing for I've been doing this for years, but since I've been doing these videos last year, it's just, yeah, rough run. Don't get me wrong, I've had plenty of bad weeks before, like occasionally a couple of, back-to-back bad weeks, but man, this is getting very deflating, having several back-to-back weeks. But thankfully we're up a fair bit to start the year, so yeah. Anyway, we'll keep this review thing short. It's only me this week, so I'll just plow through it. I got to watch 75% of this game. I missed the first quarter because I was working late. But yeah, I was so happy seeing Grindmeyer's stats tick over. When he was on I think it was 8 or 9 posies to end the first quarter, I was like, oh my God, I've picked an absolute winner here. But then our milestone man was just, nowhere to be seen. The 11 is flattering too, because I'm almost positive in that last quarter, that's where he got maybe 5 posies or something. But fuck, that was really very, very unlucky, Mitch Duncan. So he's been great off halfback, just getting little chip kicks, which doesn't really matter, cheap kicks. But he played the wing this game, and it was just, you could really tell he was a 300 plus gamer playing on the wing. He just looked so behind the pace, which was very frustrating. Yeah, in that last quarter, he had 4 posies, 2, 2, 2, or 3. Oh my God, super frustrating for having Mitch Duncan. Jason Johannesson, I was really surprised about. He was our lock of the week, and he has been looking great off a halfback. And obviously Bailey Dale is the player there for the Dogs, but Jason Johannesson being sort of another old boy over 30, we actually kind of went, going into this, I was like, we're doing the 2 older halfbacks for this game. 1, Mitch Duncan didn't play halfback, and 2, Jason Johannesson just missed in the last quarter. He was on track for the whole game, just missed. He's someone I wouldn't write off. Mitch Duncan, on the other hand, I fucking would, if he's playing on the wing there and getting what do you get? 59% game time. Holy hell, that is disgusting. Oh, he's playing just over half a game of footy. That is wild. That is actually wild. Anyway, and with Jason Johannesson, he finished the last quarter with 2 posies. So I feel like he could have hit. Yeah, so I'd happily back him again. Brian Myers, I would still back again too. I usually talk about other notables, other notable players that aren't in my bet, but without Jono here, I might just stick to the bet itself because it's hard for me to just, rotate between the games. Our second one was Dreamtime, Essendon versus Richmond. This was one that was absolutely guaranteed to hit, but Thompson Dow, oh my God. So I think he got injured just before halftime. He got a bump. I can't remember what the injury is exactly, but it looked innocuous, looked like nothing. I posted the video on the Discord, and yeah, for him to then not show up after halftime, super frustrating, especially when Nick Martin's getting 35 and Sam Durham was looking on. Actually, I wonder what Sam Durham got last night, because I was at the Brisbane Essendon game, and he was crook. I think some ankle injury or something, and he had to play forward. 8 posies. Anyway, aside from that game, I still really like Sam Durham. Yeah, Thompson Dow, I swear to God. So we bet on him 1 week and he got tax subbed, and I'm like, all right, he's back. He played the full game, he hit. And as soon as we bet on him again, he gets injured. I just cannot catch a break with Thompson Dow, but he was my lock, or he was our lock for the week. And if he didn't hit, he would have hit easy. Oh, actually, let me just hang up 1 sec. Sorry, I just got a missed call from Jono. He's busy at the moment, but yeah, anyway, I was saying about Thompson Dow, unlucky how he was our lock of the week, but yeah, a little bit frustrating that then he gets injured. And I'm recording this now, actually, the Saturday morning. I was recording Friday night, now I'm recording Saturday morning, and the exact same thing happens to Lipinski, who's on 11, gets injured. Well, Thompson Dow got injured just before halftime. Paddy Lipinski gets injured, I don't know, halfway into the third, so oh man, that's super unlucky. But that one doesn't get void because he got injured after halftime. So I'm so sick of betting on injured players. But anyway, let's keep going through the review. The second game, or third game, sorry, the Carlton GWS game. So I have not seen George Hewitt play this shit of a game all year. He was 10 out of 10, hadn't missed. Like, his lowest was 25, so he's still hitting. He looked nowhere near it. Like, it's really frustrating because a lot of the Carlton players always get a lot of the footy. One sec. Yeah, it's annoying when, like, Cripps, Chera, Walsh all get over their respective bracket, and then Hewitt on, like, 17. Oh, far out. Yeah, like, so annoying. He still got, for his CBAs, George Hewitt, 75%. So, I mean, like, he gets around anywhere between 70 and 80. So, it's nothing, like, too out of the ordinary. But, yeah, super frustrating for that one. 17 posies, 72% game time. Like, yeah, I think just had a stinker game. So, I feel like at that rate, I'll back him again when it comes to it. But on the flip side of things, Jono was very bullish on Toby Green for his milestone game, and maybe I was scarred from the milestone game Mitch Duncan put up, but yeah, Toby Green looked amazing, 28 posies, and I was also bullish on Himmelberg, who hit 19, but I think either way, I don't think either of them would have replaced Hewitt. I feel like it would have been like, maybe Lockie Whitfield would have been out, or Chera. I feel like when you see George Hewitt, who hasn't missed all year for 25, he was going to be my bet regardless, so... yeah, anyway, super unlucky about that one. We'll motor through these so I can get to the bets in time. Game 4, Hawthorn Brisbane. Alright, so I'm bullish on Darcy Wilmot still. He got a 13 that game, and then he got a 14 on Thursday night. I don't know. He's been too good to me for so long that, like, I can put up with a couple of misses. He might not seem like as energetic, and he used to remind me of like a little mini Zorko. You know how Zorko is like a little pit bull or just wants the footy? That was kind of like Darcy Wilmot, but he's just, I don't know, just sort of jogging, just, average pace. He's got Noah Ainsworth or Zorko, and Coleman's coming back. Maybe he doesn't have to, I don't know, but he just doesn't seem as energetic as he once was. Dunkley and Berry, I think, were just free. Berry had an awesome game last night, and he had 20 posies for this one too. Anytime Berry is like over $1.10, I'm throwing him in my multi. The only reason he's missing is if he gets concussed or something like that. So, yeah, Jared Berry has been free. It's just annoying that the other legs didn't hit. And Jack Scrimshaw, I know we had a very quiet last quarter, and Darcy Wilmot and Jack Scrimshaw had opposite games. Wilmot started slow, Scrimshaw started hot. They both didn't make it in the end anyway. But Scrimshaw just get me a little worried because I really liked him last year. Again, paying good odds. Yeah, he's got the concussion risk. But when you think about Hawthorn's backline with like Sicily, Carl Amon, who's getting a lot of the footy, career best form. And Sicily's bound to bounce back, by the way. Then you've got Jath, who's also popping off. You've got Impey, who's now back. You've got Battle and Barras. Like, their backline is like stacked. Barras is really the only one there who's not like getting a lot of the pill. But the rest of them are usually getting like 15 minimum. So it's hard now to have like extra room for Scrimshaw. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a sign of things to just avoid in future. Just having a quick look. Anyone else that I really liked? Yeah, Zorko's still popping off. Will Ashcroft, another over 25. I mentioned him for the 25 game. But again, Wilmot hit... this is for the Melbourne... the Essendon Brisbane game. But yeah, it's hard not to talk about that because now this is like a week old, but we'll ignore it. Onto the Saturday night game. Finally got a win, but it's like, it's $2.60 odds, and we have 5 legs. I feel like all these were pretty safe. Lipinski was probably the one who was most likely to miss, but thankfully came home strong, and I'm not going to talk about the injury game. LDU for 20. Again, anytime he's over $1.10, I'm just throwing him in. He dropped a little bit of form earlier in the year. Seems to be back where he usually is in like the over 25 posi bracket, so I don't know how long we'll see him there for. Caleb Daniel, very bullish on him because like I've been saying, like, he is only in that team because he is a great kick. He is a great distributor off halfback. If he's not doing that, what's he in the team for? Sheasel was coming back. Now he's not really in the backline anymore. And Sheasel's actually getting 20 posies. That's 2 20 posi weeks back to back for Sheasel. But yeah, Caleb Daniel still hit, and Zach Fisher was the sub, only played like 25%, so I didn't think that was going to affect him. Even still, with all those players in, out, role changes, I'm still bullish on Caleb Daniel. Like, I feel like for him to miss 20 is when he's not going to be in the team. So yeah, I'm going to keep riding Caleb Daniel. Nick Dacos started out slow, was on like 11 and a half time, and then came home huge and probably got the 3 votes. So great to see. It's really good when like the leg that's failing is like the future Brownlow medalist. So you're always like, all right, he's still going to fire. He's still going to fire. It's going to be good. So yeah, that one hit pretty comfortably in the end. Ned Long, 29 posies, and then he also had a good game against Hawthorn last night. So yeah, someone who I was bullish on and then stepped away for a bit because his game time dropped, but he got 79% in this North Melbourne game. And then in the Hawthorn game, he got another 79%. So the problem I was finding, his game time was always 70% or lower. But if it's gone up a whole 10%, that is actually huge. And he's getting like, high 20 posies now. So anyway, someone that I like to note and that I might have to consider for next time. But yeah, we got another win, the Dockers Port game. And yeah, Jordan Clark, another slow starter, I think was on maybe like 7 at halftime or something, came home very strong. Love to see it. Willem Drew popped off. So it was only really down to Connor Rozee and Clark for this leg. And I love having just like 3 legs. There's not too many players you have to worry about or juggle. When you just like got your eye on 1 or 2 players, I thought Connor Rozee was going to hit no matter what, but Jordan Clark, I was just having my eye on him. It was just, I like just watching one player and not having too many legs in there. But yeah, I liked Connor from what I saw. I was watching more of the other games, so I only got to watch, bits of this during halftime or the last quarter. But yeah, Connor Rozee in that backline role, he's getting 90% game time, so absolutely love that. So I think he might have played in the wing a little bit there. Not the wing, the midfield, as well as halfback. But I think that might just be a thing where, when Port are really struggling, they have to do something. They can't just have him sit back there. But I still really like his role. He's getting a lot of it back there. And when you're getting 90 plus, he's got 92% game time. That is huge. Like what I see there, Zach Butter's got another miss, mind you. So someone to consider for future weeks. Doesn't usually get held under 25 too often, but he copped the Corey Wagner tag. And I can't believe that's a tag now we have to watch out for. So didn't really know Corey Wagner was a tagger, but here we are. Jordan Clark, I'm very bullish on regardless. I think he's been getting a lot more of the footy. Well, Luke Ryan's stepped up. He had a quiet start to the year. Luke Ryan actually got 22, but usually I'm much more of a Jordan Clark fan. Luke Ryan's a bit more roller coastery. But yeah, they're the ones who picked. Miles Bergman over 20 plus. Brayshaw sub 20. Yeah, there's a couple of interesting ones there. Oh, and Jono very bullish on Luke Jackson. 21 posies with no Sam Darcy. I wonder if Sam Darcy is going to be a late out for the game today. He's still listed. It's supposed to be like really wet. Why would you have 2 ruckmen? Anyway, that'll be interesting to watch. On to the Sunday game. So had no luck this Sunday. Liam Baker, who I think at that point hadn't missed, that he was coming off a miss. So his CBA minutes have significantly dropped. He played a lot in the midfield to start the year. I knew that going in, like he's playing the majority halfback. And I still thought that would be prime spot for him there against Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. I feel like he was going to get a lot of the footy there. There was never a point where I was comfortable with him. Like, I think Ryan Marrick had the slow start. I think he might have been just below 10 at halftime or something, but Ryan Marrick I was never worried about. I feel like, just the slight worry is Liam Duggan's taking a lot more of the kickouts, which I don't like at all. So I feel like they can't put it all in Ryan Marrick's lap. They have to distribute it a little bit. And Liam Duggan actually got more kickouts. That's the first time this year someone's got more kickout, second time actually, if you exclude round 1. But I feel like ever since Ryan Marrick has properly been in that backline distributor role, it's the first time someone's taken more kickouts than him. A couple when he was on the bench, yes, but still, there were plenty where Ryan Marrick's on the ground and Liam Duggan's coming back and taking some of those. So maybe I'm not as bullish on Ryan Marrick for 25. I'm still bullish on him for 20, but yeah, I don't know how much footy Liam Duggan's going to steal from him back there. Isaac Rankin, I think, was absolutely free for this one. It's Adelaide versus like the bottom side, so I feel like a midfielder half forward was just, yeah, instantly picked. But yeah, a little bit annoyed on the Baker one because he's been so good all year. But again, he's got a lot of runs on the board. He's only missed 2 now for West Coast, and they were both 18 disposals, so don't want to fully write him off, but yeah, just a little bit annoying. Well, but then when you think about it as well, West Coast as a team, no one got over 25. 2 people got over 20 posies. Liam Duggan, Ryan Marrick, because they're getting 5 and 7 kickouts each. The rest of the team, no one got above 20 posies. So it's just a team who doesn't get much footy. Maybe that'll have to weigh into my Liam Baker pick a bit more, but I don't know. I still like Baker. But we'll see if other options trump him at the time. All right, moving on to the second last game. Oh, okay, so this one, I did a different bet, but my bet still had Trent Rivers in it. And look, I know he had a kind of, not, I guess you could call it tagging role. He had a tagging role on like Lachie Neale the week before. Oh no, not, on Hugh McCluggage. And then he had it all on Isaac Heaney this round. And this was like my first proper time like really watching Trent Rivers. Like I've seen him come into the mid. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. Or even if he's on halfback, but I mean, they don't really need him anymore with Bowie, Salem, McVee. I think even Windsor's gone a lot in the back line there. Anyway, so Trent Rivers playing on the ball, getting a bunch of CBAs, which, is great to see. Yeah, Trent Rivers in his last, so his CBAs were like 0%, 0, 30, 50, 60. So his CBAs are going up. This was his highest CBA game, but doesn't translate into getting all the footy because he's doing a shutdown role on Isaac Heaney. So Isaac Heaney, who's still, like, mind you, popped off, got 22 posies, 3 goals. But, I mean, if you don't have a body on him, he's probably getting 30 posies and 4 goals. But, yeah, it's hard because, I like Trent Rivers. I like where he is. I just wish he was a little more ball-focused. But that's kind of the reason why I don't really like betting on players like, I say Tom Atkins, but I've actually bet on him this week because he's going up against West Coast. But the defensive mids, because their primary job is not to get the footy, it's to stop a player. And yes, they're around the ball a lot. Like, they're not necessarily like taggers, like hardcore taggers, but yeah, they've got their hands occupied with the other player. So, and that's where their first thought is. So, someone who missed of note that I really like, Jake Bowie. So he copped a James Jordan tag, which very surprising. I thought it would have for sure gone to like Petrarca or something. But yeah, Jake Bowie, I think teams just really starting to figure out that he is super damaging. And the game at the moment is really dedicated or, aimed at damaging halfback flankers. So when you nullify Jake Bowie, I mean, Melbourne still won by a fair bit. And I'm surprised I went the tag the whole game. But yeah, they've found he is a very, very key player, very good key player back there for Melbourne. We've been betting on him like all year. I mean, he's someone I was bullish on last year. But yeah, 17 posies with a tag. So I feel like he is very likely to bounce back. Just keep that in note. Otherwise, everyone else there, Matt Roberts, just keep riding. He's just getting 20s to low 20s. Even with like Blakey and Riley Bice taking a lot of kickouts there. Matt Roberts is just very like, just not exciting, but just doing what he does. Like he doesn't have to run and dash like what the other boys do. Just coolly, calmly doing what he does, 20 posies, love to see it. Chad Warner, we've almost lost his value now, so we've got him for a couple of good 20 plus posie games in a row, but he's now under $1.20. So actually, same Ed Langdon. Ed Langdon we're usually getting for like $1.15. He's like $1.05 now, especially with no Jack Viney. So I know Ed Langdon is just the classic winger of the game, but with no what's his name? Jack Viney, Ed Langdon's having to, he plays mostly wing, but he'll come up around the ball a lot more. So yeah, he's getting a lot more of the footy, which is great to see, but we can't bet on him for future weeks, I guess, at that price. In the last game, St Kilda versus Gold Coast, very happy with the players I bet on for disposals, Wanganeen Miller and John Noble. I even did another bet with John Noble for 25. I was that confident in him. He only just hit, by the way, but man, Jack Higgins, who was 9 out of 10 for 2 or more goals, even in his like games where he was sick, he got 2 goals by halftime. His quiet games, he might get 1 goal, 3. I think that was his one miss for the year or something. But like absolute donuts. Okay, he kicked 1 point with like 10 seconds left. So pretty much for 99% of that game, he was donuts. So quiet. Like, yes, St Kilda going up against Gold Coast and it was like kind of low scoring, but like I really thought Jack Higgins kind of had more. But I don't want to, get too disgruntled or annoyed at that because his track record has been huge this year. So yeah, someone I will consider for future. But yeah, just super annoying that. That's kind of the thing with goal kickers. I much rather bet on players in the disposal bracket because it's like if they don't have their chance or opportunity to strike for that goal, you're hanging out, and then it's like when it gets to the fourth quarter, you're like, he's not kicking 2. But if you need your player to get like 4 or 5 posies, it's like it's very, very doable. So posies, I feel like is always strong that it's going to hit for most of the game. Even if they start off slow, like an example last night was Darcy Cameron, 0 posies at quarter time, and he gets 16. Carl Amon was on 6 or 7 at halftime and still hits and got 22. Like, disposal brackets, I really like. It's very rare I jump into these goal kicker brackets, especially for 2. But yeah, Jack Higgins being 9 out of 10, it was very hard to say no for that price. But we'll see. I got him, I think, 2 weeks ago, or I would still back him again at this rate, but maybe just because it was against Gold Coast, who are, arguably like top 6-ish team. I don't know if they're top 4, but it seems like they're definitely making the 8. Yeah, anyway, that's the review. Let's go on to our bets for the round. So we'll smash through that. I'll just see if Jono is free. All right, we'll talk soon. Peace. Alrighty, moving on to our first game of Saturday. It's actually Gold Coast versus Freo, and it's down at People First Stadium. And I just looked out the window. It's very like overcast, gloomy, but it's not bucketing like I thought it would. I'm Brisbane, I'm not Gold Coast. Maybe it's different an hour down, but I just looked at the weather and it's 20 degrees and like 40% chance of rain. I thought this one was going to be like absolutely monsooning, but I mean, it's still a decent chance of rain. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be muggy, wet. But just something to really consider, especially when you get into like goal scorers and stuff, because obviously with a wet game comes a hard-fought, contested, low-scoring game. So that's actually, if we get into the players I've picked, that's why I kind of went Matty Rowell was one of the players. Like, I've not really been bullish on Matty Rowell. Okay, I was maybe bullish on Matty Rowell like rounds 1 to 4. But as soon as he got like that 17 game, I was like, ooh, I don't like a 25 posi player getting in the teens. And he's done it a couple times, but 20, I will definitely take. Oh, actually, I forgot to write these things. So 25, 20, 20, 20. Actually got no one for 15. So with a wet weather game, it's pretty good for, stoppages. Like, doesn't mean the posies necessarily go up heaps, but I feel like a lot of the kicks off the ground, ball ups, throw-ins, little shit handballs and stuff might not necessarily be good for like forwards or switching of the play and stuff. It's good for points. Like, I really like John Noble. Oh, but yeah, my point with Matty Rowell is I picked him because he is a contested bull. It'll be around stoppages a lot. And that was me picking him over someone like Jai Amos because he was the same price. I'm like, what the fuck? Jai Amos for a goal is like $1.28 or $1.25, whatever he was. But yeah, how many opportunities are he going to get to mark the footy if it's going to be bucketing soon? But the weather, like I said, it seems muggy, but we'll see when it's game time in a couple of hours. Jordan Clark, I like. He did me well the last couple of weeks. Took Miller, it's probably the best price he's been for 20 plus, 10 out of 10. Again, he's going to be around the stoppages. But yeah, John Noble and Jordan Clark, very similar half-back roles. John Noble, I feel like, is way more hungry, but they're both probably going to get a lot of kick-outs. And, the scoreboard might be peppered enough with a lot of points, so rush behinds or what have you. So I like both of them. And Caleb Sarong, who is 8 out of 10, and he's going to be around the footy a lot. I feel like Gold Coast don't really have like that hard tagger or something. And I feel like Wagner will probably go to Noah Anderson. Matty Rowell will be a bit of a thorn in their side. But if I was going to pick Caleb Sarong or Andy Brayshaw, I just think Caleb Sarong, who's not... I think Andy Brayshaw is like more damaging, better runner, provide space and stuff. But Caleb Sarong, I think, is better just around the footy in close quarters. So that's why I've gone Sarong for this one. Onto the 15 posi bracket. Sam Closey, their wingman. I think was it his first game back for a while, because I hadn't noticed him. Tell you what, this is why it's, again, handy having Jono here, because I can look at these stats while he's talking. But Sam Closey, he's played 7 games. Okay, so so he was 9, 10, 11. So he's been back for a bit, but I haven't really noticed. And in those games he's been back, all been hits. So I really like him. I feel like a winger would still be okay in this kind of weather. Actually, someone who I'm just flat out not betting on, Nat Fife, like, so he was subbed off 4 times last year, and I don't know how much game time he's going to get for a wet one in Gold Coast. So surely they look after him. He's starting because, they haven't obviously announced the subs yet, but he actually could be subbed. He's on the bench. Could be Neil Erasmus. Erasmus, Corey Wagner, Sean Darcy, Bailey Banfield. Bailey Banfield's been subbed a couple times, but you'd think they'd look after Nat Fife. Or Sean Darcy. Yeah, why? It still baffles me how they're playing like 2 big boys for this. Anyway, the point is, I'm just going to avoid Nat Fife. Don't like it. No need. There's a couple of alright ones for value here, like Braden Fiorini. Look, I could highlight him. Hitting over 15 after his great, couple of months in the VFL. So it seems like he's found his spot again in the side for Gold Coast. Shai Bolton, yeah. I mean, I'm usually not a fan of like half forwards, small half forwards against a really good side. In the wet though, that'll be interesting. I like Luke Jackson for $1.12. No, because I don't know what's going on with Sean Darcy. Matt Johnson, yeah, I do like. He's only got 3 misses there. Like, I don't know, none of these picks, like, I could highlight them, but none I don't have that much confidence in. Bodie Ulen, Joel Jeffrey, I really like. The problem I have, and I've said it in many videos, is I hate betting on... it's kind of now become a Hawthorn problem too. Like I was just saying in the review part, with Jack Scrimshaw, there's Carl Amon, James Sicily, Jath, Impey. It's the same with Gold Coast now. There's a lot of backmen there who can get a lot of the footy. So Ulen, Jeffrey, Rioli, Will Powell to an extent, and John Noble. I would much rather just sort of pick one than, pick a couple. So maybe if you're not as bullish on John Noble as I am, he's $1.18. There's not much value left in Noble. I could throw in Joel Jeffrey. Coming off 27, and his misses are, 12, 13, 14, so he's getting pretty close, but they all play similar roles. I feel like Jeffrey and Noble are the ones who have the least defensive role. I feel like Uland, Powell are pretty locked down. Rioli, yeah, I don't know. Rioli's just not as hungry as, to me, as he was last year. So, anyway, let's move to the... I'll watch out for, Corey Wagner probably doing the tag role. I mentioned that, so that's why I haven't included Anderson, but we'll get to him. In the 20 posi bracket, John Noble, straight up, just get into my bet. That 19 was his first game to start the year. As soon as he's played his first game for Gold Coast, he hasn't missed all year. Yeah, that 19 was for Gold Coast. Just want to make sure that Eagles game, and it wasn't when he was with the Pies. But yeah, he's been freaking huge, averaging 26.5 posies, even having a great month, 28.7. I like John Noble no matter what. And even if the conditions are awful, what I like about him is he's hungry. Like, he will want the footy no matter what. He loves getting the pill. Someone like that, there's a lot of players like that. I swear they just know the posi. I don't know. They know what they average and they just want to get the footy. So he's very hungry. He'll, we'll see how he goes. It'll be an interesting game today. Took Miller, again, there's no reason not to. He should be playing a lot around the ball there. Great two-way runner for Gold Coast. I don't think he'll be doing anything too defensive there. Like, I don't know, maybe be around Andy Brayshaw. But Gold Coast, took Miller, 67% game CBAs. He is second in line for the midfielders, because if you exclude Jared Witt, goes Noah Anderson, Matt Rao, Took Miller, and then you get into like Bailey Humphrey. But yeah, I feel like Took Miller is definitely averaging 60% CBAs. He'll be around the footy there. 20 should be all right. Hasn't missed for a while. Jordan Clark and Matt Rao. Yeah, I just feel like this 20 posi bracket, I really like. There was no one standing out too much in the 15, maybe because they weren't presenting much value. But yeah, I really like the 20. I spoke about Clark and Matty Rao. Matt Rao, I think, should have... He, Matty Rao could have like more tackles and disposals. But yeah, I really like him for 20 here in a tight, contested, wet game. Dan Rioli just hasn't quite, I don't know, done it for me this year. 6 out of 10 speaks for itself, but just, I don't know. It's very hard to back Dan Rioli when there's a hungrier version of him in John Noble just right next to him on the field. So, yeah, I just don't know if I can bet on Dan Rioli anymore this year. Or for 20. If he ever gets into the 15 posi bracket, then yeah, sure. 25, couple here to choose from. I spoke about it before, why I included them, but I feel like I'd go Sarong, a close, tight, contested game of footy instead of Brayshaw, who might usually get it more running, or like Brayshaw gets a lot of contested footy, don't get me wrong, but I just think Sarong just has that potential just for a couple more posies in tight for a close game like that. Noah Anderson, I feel like might get the tag from Corey Wagner. Even still, I think Noah Anderson is good for 20, but just that tag might bring him to the low 20s. That 21, I can't remember. He got tagged in, I think it was just one of those games. The other 24 was a genuine miss. The 21, I feel like would have been against Sydney, and he got the James Jordan tag. How good's my memory? Round 7, yeah, he got 21. That was, bam. All right, my memory's all right. John Noble, I even like for 25. The only reason I'm not going John Noble for 25 is just the wet. The weather just worries. Doesn't worry me that much because I feel like Freo have definitely like sort of found their form at the moment and playing good footy. So I think they're going to have a lot of inside 50s. If I did John Noble for 25, it would just give me a reason maybe to exclude Jordan Clark or Matt Rao. Sarong I probably like a bit more. But the point is I wouldn't include 5 legs if I then bumped up someone else in the posi bracket. Goal scorers, I mentioned Jai Miss, so yeah, there you go. He's $1.30, and I was like, I included him originally, but I was like, I don't need to include him when then I can throw in Matt Rao instead. I'd much rather go someone contested footy, Matty Rao, than Jai Amos, Michael Frederick. Like, yeah, they're good options there. You're going to get a good price while it's going to be pretty average weather, but yeah, I don't have any strong reason not to. I mean, I'd even go Bolton at that price. That's pretty good, $1.28. Don't know about any of the big boys, Jed Walt. I don't know. It's just not filling me with confidence is the short answer of that. I don't really care much of their form when it's going to be just pissing down, and how good are their entries going to be? I don't know. Anyway, so let's move on to the next game of the round, which is already the second game, GWS versus Richmond. I actually haven't placed this bet yet because I just don't like it. I don't like it. I was like struggling to find a bet that I liked, or even like sort of $3 odds. This is what I came up with, but I don't know, I just don't like it. So I haven't bet. Maybe I bet before game time, or maybe I just enjoy my Saturday and I don't have to watch GWS pump Richmond for a multi that I don't think will hit. I'm thinking I might pick that option because I've had so many weeks where I'm just betting on every bet I do, I'm usually confident in. This is the first time it's like, I would just rather not watch or just get too invested in this game. And you'll see, like, Nick Floston, I think will hit $1.12. It's already kind of risky, but I feel like he's going to get a lot of kickouts. GWS should pump them by like 80 plus points. Hopper, I feel like with Tim Taranto potentially getting the Toby Bedford tag, I think Hopper will get a lot of the footy. I'm bullish on Hopper for 25, so I think 20 is a decent stretch, and he's had a great year this year. He's just still in like good value territory. Josh Kelly, first game back, but yes, he's very injury prone. But I feel like for $1.24, I think is fantastic, especially when, there's no Finn Callahan. Toby Green did play a bit of the mid last week while they were both out. I feel like you might have a couple of rotations in there, but you got to remember Tom Green's there, probably getting 30. So I like Josh Kelly as like that second midfielder there. Sam Banks, who I hadn't really watched much of until the Essendon game, Dreamtime. So yeah, taking Short's role, or even, he looks like a more energetic Jaden Short. So taking a couple of kickouts. Actually, how many kickouts did he have? It wasn't that many because Veloston's still doing the most. But yeah, I like what I see when I see some player hungry, playing up all around the ground, averaging 27 in his last 3. Sam Banks, he only had 3 kickouts. Veloston had 8. So, I mean, he's getting some of the footy back there, but it's obviously not his main source. But yeah, the thing is as well, like, yeah, I don't know how he's going to go against a big club because, like, Richmond have had Essendon, North, West Coast. He had Hawthorn, but Hawthorn was actually a miss. I don't know. So the thing is, I like Sam Banks, but GWS, I just feel like they're just going to pump him. I don't know. That just already worries me a little bit. Yes, he's in great form, but this will be a big test. And then Lockie Ash, he has had, I think, that one miss for the year. He has been huge. He has been someone that took me a while to actually get around because I bet on him last year a lot for the 20 posi bracket. I was always rotating between him and Himmelberg. And man, Lockie Ash fucking shot up to that 25. And Himmelberg has actually gone down to the 15 posi bracket. So I'd much rather bet on someone who's gone down a bracket than up. But yeah, Lockie Ash has just been smashing it. So, but the problem I'm getting at is there's obviously Whitfield there. Whitfield's playing a bit more up the ground. I don't know how long that'll last, but Lockie Ash, Whitfield, Connor Iden, Lockie Ash anyway, playing off halfback against a 16th Richmond on the ladder at home. Look, maybe he'll get 25 posies. I don't know how much it's going to get down there. The only thing that's kind of okay is GWS get most of their posies from their back half. Like the Tsunami, the Wave, they bring that footy from the back line. I think they'll get a lot of it, but I don't know. I like Lockie Ash. It's funny, Lockie Ash and Josh Kelly are the only ones I really like. I don't know. The point, you can already tell just in my voice, my reasoning, I just don't like this game. So I haven't bet, and I don't think I will. I think I will do other stuff with my Saturday for this one. Connor Iden, I usually really like. $1.16. I would just rather go Vlost. I don't know. I would rather go Vlosten just for the kick-out potential. Like, he's got 8, 3, 3, 6, 3, 6, like, kick-outs in his last couple of games. So he's already getting, like, a quarter, halfway there last week, actually, with kick-outs alone. So I really like that. Toby Green probably be playing in the mid-roll, but the time to bet on him was last week for that, so I think it's too late now, even though he's probably still a hit, but for $1.12, no thank you. Himmelberg, just too cheap, $1.12. Connor Iden, 9 out of 10, I like. I don't know, Connor Iden isn't necessarily like a hungry player where he demands the footy. You've already got other players in GWS for that, so that's just my only scare for him. It's like, oh, he could just have a cruisy game today and not have to do too much. Ross is a bit too much of a roller coaster. Yeah, I don't know. Not that bullish on. Lane Curvis, I considered. So he's going up against Kieran Briggs, who's in not great form himself. Kieran Briggs was actually someone, believe it or not, I dabbled in for 15 plus posies last year, but looking nowhere near it this year. So Toby Nankervis, the captain, I feel like someone for Richmond's going to have like a decent game, and yeah, it could be him. But again, Luke Trainer, I really like. So he missed. He was a sub one game, got like 2 posies. 12 was pretty close. He got an 8 last week, and these are all like proper games, right? This was not. There was no injury. There was no anything. He played. I think it was like 80%. Luke Trainer. So Luke Trainer, he played 75% and 68%. So not his usual mid to low 80%. But the thing is, I really like, and for, I think we're all in the same boat that GWS are going to win this by 40, 60 plus points. I feel like your young defender should get a lot of opportunity back there. So we'll see how we go. Actually, I'm just getting a call from Jono. I'll just pause one sec. All right, I was just finishing. I was just explaining I didn't really like this game to bet on, and who would fucking crawl their way out of bed and make an appearance? Jono, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, I am death warmed up to the game, much like the Richmond Tigers. But yeah, I don't like it. I think we spoke about it briefly yesterday. There is like the only other guy I'd chuck in there would be a Connor Iden because he's a guy, but like we said, it's not going to be really in their backline much.
Yeah, and I was literally just saying before we got on, he's not like sort of hungry for it. You've got Lockie Ash, maybe Lockie Whitfield. I know Whitfield's playing a bit more up the ground, but like, do you really like this? Could easily be a game Connor Iden just maybe just takes a back foot and gets 15 or less. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly right. Like,
yeah.
It's just.
Also, yeah, thanks. You probably hear Jono is very sick. There's no audio. There's no video, but there is audio. He's literally still in bed right now. Just got the phone next to him, Just like,
No, I've got the full setup, mate. I literally have the Blue Yeti next to me.
oh yeah, nice, yeah. Well, I appreciate you
Um,
coming on while you're sick as a dog, but yeah, not much.
yeah,
Like I
this is what
like.
happens when
Hmm?
you go to a really cold game in Melbourne and throw horse pies and freeze your ass.
Yeah, no, well, you were sick before, sort of making your way there, but you thought, nah, I'll go there for the footy,
Gotta go
and
support the boys, you know.
yeah, nah, nice. It's very hard for me to miss a
Yeah,
game of footy.
yeah. Back to this one though, but like, yeah, we've highlighted Nag there. It's a hit. It's a like. I think the reason we don't like this one, there's a lot of 50-50 calls. I think, don't we reckon? So,
Yeah, and it like Nank. Look, maybe he could have a good game against Kieran Briggs. It's the captain. If one or two players for Richmond are going to stand up, it could be Nank. But like the point is, it's like already we feel uncertainty, and it's like I would much rather just enjoy my Saturday afternoon than fucking watch a shit multi try and get there. Like,
mm.
yeah.
Also, shit game. So go outside, enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, I was like crazy. I was actually thinking of going for a run after this. I was like, who the fuck am I? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go outside and sniff the flowers and all that shit.
No, I'm gonna go hide in the dark.
I
The
highlight.
only other one.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, you go.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah.
I spoke about the 20 plus posies just because pretty much all of them are in the bet that I highlighted. Nick Vlaston, just because he can get a bunch of kick ins today. But I was just going to say, moving on to the 25, we've highlighted Tom Green, and I think he's a chance for 30 plus today. But yeah, if any game for him to hit 25, surely it's against a weak-ish Richmond side.
Yes. Like Whitfield, last week he was great. It's the movement up the ground scares us a bit. Like, now, sorry, in fairness, against Richmond, him being up the ground is probably not the worst thing, but
Yeah.
I know, I'd just rather him be that fucking fat seagull in the back line and just pick it off. But I don't like him running up the ground too far.
Yeah, it's a
Now,
good point for this game. It could be good, actually. But yeah.
yeah, but with Josh Kelly back, maybe he goes back to the back line again. Maybe they don't need his support around the ball. I don't think. I think Toby Green is now dead in the water.
I did say the week to bet on him was last week. He's now $1.12. There's like no value there for him anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately. One guy I do want to talk about. If you just want a one leg bet and you don't mind a little, like I would say it's a coin flip, is Tom Green for a goal.
Tom Green for a goal. Yeah, $2.65. So he's 6 out of 10. And so like he's better odds than a coin flip because coin flip in sporting world is $1.90. So you're getting him for a good price against 16th on the ladder Richmond. That GWS are playing at home. They're like $1.06 favourites. They're gonna win by like 50, 60 points. I think your bull midfielder. There's going to be stoppages in there where something happens, or he just goes up forward for a little bit. There's definitely a good chance for that to happen.
Oh, but like for a 6 out of 10 guy, $2.60 is great.
Yeah, no, I think that is really good value. No, good call. We did highlight the other goal scorers, so I have mentioned before that I'm not a huge fan of, like, I will bet on goal scorers every now and then, but for this game, it's like, I don't know, maybe Hogan for 3. Like, obviously the form's not there, but you just got to remember who they're versing. So,
If he wants to win, go back to back on the Coleman, he'd need to fill his boots today.
yeah. So, like, I would almost kind of rather, do a Hogan for 4 or a Green for a goal. Like, I'm not really keen on this bet below anyway to bet on. I would almost rather do like a Luke Trainer for 15 posies. I did mention him before you got on the call. Sorry, Jono. He's $1.77, 7 out of 10. He's had 2 stinkers, but he's getting a lot of game time. He's had that 1 sub game. But the point is, I would rather go a good odds player like that than a lot of these little shitty ones that I'm not super confident in.
Yeah, that's fair. And like we said, like guys, if you don't like the bet, don't bet it.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
Enjoy your Saturday. Should we move on to the
go
other?
outside and don't watch this fucking atrocious game.
It's been a shit couple of weeks as well for punting. It's like, I feel like I need a good reason to just avoid a game.
And in fairness, the Brisbane Essendon game gave us a bit more than we thought we'd get, and then now we've got coming up, and we had a blowout last night. I feel like we're staring down a couple of big blowouts this weekend, so it might be a good weekend to get outside, guys.
Yeah, not to mention Wilmot missed by 1 in that Essendon-Brisbane game. Lipinski gets injured. It's just like, I'm sick of shit not going right. This game just doesn't look like it would go right at all, so...
Yeah, we'll talk about them in our review.
Yeah. Now, moving on to the Sydney-Adelaide game. This one actually might probably be the best game coming up. We have probably well,
This is the
arguably,
one I will watch.
yeah, this
Yeah.
might be the best game of the round now, considering that the Collingwood-Hawthorn game was kind of one-sided. But everyone in this bet I'm very bullish on, and I'll just quickly explain them and then throw it to you, Jono. But Josh Worrell for 15, he's a bit short, but we could tell even in the games where Adelaide are versing like West Coast, he's getting 26 posies. I really like Worrell. Isaac Heaney, if he gets sort of attention, he's still getting 19 or 20 posies. So even in his worst games and playing up forward, he's getting 20. And mainly because Warner's lost a lot of his value. Roberts is just doing what he does. 9 out of 10. He's 1 misses, 19 posies. He's not your sexy Nick Blakey or Riley Bice run and gun. He's just doing what he does, 20 posies. And the unique one there, Sam Berry had his first proper game this year, and he got 20 plus posies against West Coast. I know it was against a shit mid, but I think Sam Berry really needs that game time. He doesn't want to be sub. He needs to really show that he can play in this side. I feel like he's going to get a lot of time in the mid, and I think he'll pop off for this one.
Yeah, he's really like carrying this bet, isn't he? Like we need that one. But,
yeah, $1.68 in there. So.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Like, hopefully it continues. They look better when he's in there. So
yeah, he's kind of like a just slightly more revved up Matt Crouch, and obviously Matt Crouch isn't playing, but he's not maybe like you're super damaging or fast.
Matt
but
Crouch needs to go to the graveyard. I think he's done.
Yeah, very unlucky. I do, but yeah, I do like Sam Berry. That 4 out of 10. If that scares you, I just feel like if he gets his proper opportunity in the mid, which he will for this game, I definitely like that, especially for those odds. So. I don't usually bet on someone with that recent form, but he's been sub last month, so it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak about anyone the 15, or if you want to keep me talking, I'm happy to do that while you're a bit under the weather.
No, that's fine, man. I'm happy to chat. No, there's not too much like really there. It's like you've highlighted Braden Campbell there.
One actually I want to highlight Rory. What's his name?
Braden Smith.
Rory Laird. Rory Laird is not playing today, so he's out.
Yeah,
Exactly. So he's managed. Brodie Smith is coming in to play his role, and I feel like Rory Laird doesn't take any kickouts, no CBAs. He gets 20 plus just on the halfback. Brodie Smith, albeit he's old and just getting called up for this game, I still think he's a good chance for 15. He's played one game this year, got 17. So yeah, there's an option there. I haven't got it, but
definitely. Yeah, again, the tricky one. Let's move on to 20s though, maybe.
Yep, 20s is a lot more value here. So this is
where...
the value. So I was very bullish on Peatling, McInerney, or Berry. I've gone Berry. His odds are pretty good there, but I think he has been given that midfield time. I explained before, but I just think he needs a spot in that side. He needs 20. His role in the midfield there is to get 20. McInerney... Yes, he'll play some CBAs and stuff, but he's mostly either wing or half forward. He'll come in, but he gets 25% CBAs. So
isn't it crazy that study we were getting Peatling for fucking 15?
I know,
and he was missing the first 2 weeks, and we were like saying if he doesn't hit 15 this week, we're never betting him again.
Yep, that's the game you talked about. So I bet on him for 20, he got 19. Then I bet 15, and he got 13. And then ever since then, he's hit 6 times in his last 2.
Margaret.
Yeah. So Peatling, very much sort of like, well, not like Berry, but Peatling playing.
No, I like Peatling.
Yeah, I like Peatling too. So his CBAs are 43%. So he'll go up and around the footy, but he's a great runner, and he'll be there for some outlet kick or most of the stoppages. But yeah, he's playing a lot better. He's playing a lot better now, and just I think those first 2 rounds put me off Peatling for the start of the year. But yeah, he looks like he's fitting in that Adelaide side now.
Exactly right. He looks good.
Yeah. Do you want to speak about anyone from the rest of the 20 posie bracket?
Not too much. Shad Warner's value is dropping, obviously, because look how great he is. I think he hits 20 again. I think Heaney hits 20 again. And Rankin at the SCG might be a little of a worry, but he's a pretty good player. I should get the Jordan tag, you'd think, though.
Yeah, that was my thought. I've been, what's the word? Complacent, where I'm like, oh, I think Dawson will get the tag, but then it goes to Rankin. I can't remember what game that was for. I think it was GWS where Bedford goes to Rankin, because I thought like Jordan Dawson more damaging. He's like second favourite for the Brownlow, but yeah, they're still going to Rankin. So I've highlighted, but just someone to keep in mind. The 25, I don't know, no one here consistently hits 25. I've gone Warner just because of
Ooh,
his form
right.
of late. Yeah, so he's gone 27 in his last three. Jordan Dawson has also popped off, but again,
Not enough though. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, not enough for $1.46. Like, I feel like all these players are what you call a coin flip, and like they should all be like $1.90, but someone might hit it, but I don't want to be playing that maybe game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather go a
The one
full.
there would be like Matty Roberts there. He's 5 out of 10 and he's $2, like 50-50.
Yeah,
Look,
actually,
that's
there
pretty
is a
shit.
probably actual 50-50. And against Adelaide, and actually, I probably do like Matty Roberts the most out of those. Or Chad Warner's in good form, but I like Matty Roberts.
Yeah. No, that
Uh,
sounds good.
Goal scorers, I actually forgot to include Josh Rochelle for this one. So when I did my bet, I really like $1.20 players 10 out of 10. I have no reason not to include him, even though it's against Sydney. In Sydney, Adelaide are in great form. So is Rochelle. I'm pretty sure he's played like a month of footy now for him this year, and he's still hit all of them. So 10 out of 10. No reason not to bet on Josh Rochelle.
He does like open grounds a bit more. He likes a bit of open space, so he's not going to get that this weekend, as I would say though.
Yeah,
So that
so
might, but
I
he is
just
10 out of 10. So
I just shocked myself. Josh Rochelle's played 2 months of footy. For some reason, I thought he only came back not too long ago. Oh, he got
broke the
injured in
ribs.
round 3, and yeah, came back round 7. That's why
He got poleaxed by, I can't remember who it
he was
is.
in the
But yeah,
Kangaroos game. So someone from.
yeah, it was Cherry. Cherry nailed him.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, and then our boy, your boy, John. No, not our boy. Ben Keys. I've highlighted him
Don't
there.
put him on me.
Yeah, he's none of our
Oh,
boys.
you love him, Jono. You love him.
Yeah, Jono just kept saying Ben Keys this, Ben Keys that.
Oh, fuck. Watch
So
your
we've got it.
fucking bags this weekend. Fuck.
Yeah, I swear to God, he's the most burnt player in AFL at the moment. So always burnt snub by his
Worst bloke
teammates.
in AFL. Must be.
Yeah, he must be sleeping with all their missos or something.
Yeah, I reckon. I reckon.
He's $1.40, 8 out of 10. Again, no
He walks
strong
into
reason.
the change rooms and points at their chest, and then they look down and he goes, "Oh!" and flicks him in the face.
That little high school thing.
Yeah. That's what he
Ben
does through work.
Ben Keys, like he's a great worker, runs up and around the ground. He's really fallen out of the 15 posi bracket at the moment. So look at his ever since I highlighted him, right? I think, a month and a bit ago, he's gone 1 out of 5 for 15 plus. So
And that's isn't that without Rochelle for a lot of that?
No, I think Rochelle's been back for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. Oh, so
Okay, take that back. Maybe it is Rochelle's effect.
actually, yeah, coincides with Rochelle, I guess. But for goal scorer as well, I like Josh Rochelle just a little bit more consistent. But Ben Keys, he's been causing me too many headaches recently. I'd rather him just not in my bet.
What about the Chad?
Chad, yeah, 6 out of 10. Chad's
It's
usually
not
been pretty.
enough.
He's usually been pretty good for a goal. I know his form should reflect more of like $1.60 territory, but he's usually 8 out of 10 for a goal, so been a bit quiet.
$1.28, it's just like for a guy 6 out. If he was 7 out of 10, yeah.
Yeah. No, anyway, anyone else you want to mention or move on to the next one?
No, let's move on to the next one.
Easy. So we'll just keep it flowing. The Melbourne St Kilda game. So this one I like, but also don't, just because there's like 5 legs. I've bet on it, so I obviously already it's better value than the GWS Richmond game, but there's a lot of there's no one good value pick. Like Wanganeen Miller for $1.28 is the best value there. Then we're already in like $1.18, $1.18, $1.20. So I actually did this bet before the Sunday squads were announced, so I actually got these players for a slightly better price. But I think
I like Ryan Burns is it's good to see him back on the bet slip.
Yeah. It's sometimes when I bet on a player for like $1.60, $1.50, when I see them become $1.20, it's like, oh, I don't think you should be that value, but he's just consistently hitting. He's 1 miss, 13 posies. If he's playing sort of wing, half back role, he's around the footy, he's doing nothing wrong for me not to include him, so hop on in.
Yeah, nice.
Callum Wilkie and Windhager, I feel like are the... So, again,
no Jack McRae.
Yes, no Jack McRae.
So I like Windy.
Well, Windhager will probably, if he's not tagging Petrarca, or he's not going to do that Bowie tag that James Jordan did last week, but Windhager will, in my opinion, either 50-50 tag or play his wing role. So he's played a bit more of his standard role on the wing than his hard tag that he's known for. But he's still getting 15, and his 1 miss was 13. Otherwise, 2 19s. I'm pretty sure one of was a tagging job, one was a wing role. So
he did see a massive spike in CBA. So he's basically the last month he hasn't seen a CBA, and then last week he went back up to that 60 mark. It was
nice.
He was the second most for a non-ruckman in the team
Oh,
last week.
okay. That is a good pickup then, because yeah, with Jack McRae out, yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, that is a big spike, 63%. Yeah, no, I like that.
So, I think he's just obviously they want to use him to fill in that void.
Yep.
So
Bradley Hill's one game off being 10 out of 10. Not much value there. I could have easily gone him over Windhager, but I like Windhager. Harvey Langford, I'm actually kind of bullish on for 20. Maybe not as much now that Oliver is actually kind of back to what he usually does. There's no weird tagging role or anything, but while there's no, what's his name, Jack Viney, I think Harvey Langford's still a chance. So 15 seems okay. Yeah.
One more week probably, because well, I don't know. Viney just he keeps having concussion symptoms, so maybe Viney's not coming back.
Yeah, no, we'll see. But Harvey Langford, good young up and comer, doing well and getting a lot of the footy there for Melbourne. Callum Wilkie, I just think will get a lot of the footy in the back line there against Melbourne. Melbourne are in great form at the moment, so your All-Australian defender, I think, surely going to get 15 down there. Ryan Burns was spoken about, really like him. Mason Wood, he got 16 last week. I just want to see him more of a wing role than in the forward line. So if he's on the wing, running up and down the ground, I really like. Maybe he has to do that this week with Windhager going into the CBAs. Yeah, Wood coming up onto the wing.
Well, last week did we see that? Was that 16 because of the wing?
Yeah, actually, that might be a good point, because I didn't really watch any of that West Coast. No, who did St Kilda play last week? Was it Gold Coast?
And I wasn't watching that shit.
Yeah, no, but I do like the pick there. I probably don't have much worries on him. I think, maybe him coming up onto the wing role, he's every chance for 16. So that's something to consider.
Yep.
20 plus, a lot of value here. So obviously the ones here, the first three are probably the ones I like the most. So Petrarca, I mean, Oliver, there's a bit of a basket case. Who knows what's going on? But I feel like even still, whatever weird role he's doing, he's only had one outlier game. I still think 20 is pretty reasonable for him. And my boy Jake Bowie, who got tagged from James Jordan last week. Yeah. I think he will come back strong this week and get 25 or something. So I really like Jake Bowie.
One I love, Jack Steele.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say love. Jack Steele is teetered low 20s and even in the teens a little bit. But for that price, I can definitely see why you do like him.
And Jack McRae, I know it's only one game sample, but just went whack with a 33, had 90% CBAs.
Ooh. Oh, that is very tempting. Well, he had 100% CBAs one game. I'm just looking at his against Freo.
It's a little tank.
Yeah. That is pretty wild. 100% CBAs, that is fucking cooked. Anyway, so that is a good pickup.
The reason for that though, James, is because remember that game? It was no goals kicked.
Oh, yeah.
So, like you say, 100% CBAs. It was probably 10 CBAs. So
that's right. It was so low.
Freo kicked one goal to half time, wasn't it? It's not a big achievement, mate.
Yeah, no, that's good memory. Back to the other ones. Trent Rivers, who has been playing a softish tag role, but I don't necessarily like those players who are more player focused than ball focused.
Also, very could be playing down back, could be playing mid. Worry some kind of
and 7 out of 10 looks all right. I bet on him last week and I really had my eyes on him, but just doesn't want the footy I don't know, or just not super hungry for it. When you got Christian Petrarca, Clayton Oliver getting 30s, Jake Bowie's having a quiet one. He's getting the same amount of posies and he's getting tagged, whereas Rivers is doing the tag. I don't know. I kind of regret the Rivers pick last week, but maybe someone just to watch rather than bet on. But
yeah, exactly. Bowie, small ground. Marvel always worries me with that type of player. That's the only thing.
No, I still like, because Marvel will have a quick slingshot turnover. Wanganeen Miller, or he plays at Marvel most of the time, and he's getting a lot of it. Ed Langdon.
There won't be any tag. I can't see Windy starting in the forward line.
No, I don't see that at all happening. Langdon has been playing that wing role, but I guess playing just a little more around the ball. He's averaging 25.
He's playing that half forward mid now.
Yeah. So $1.44, again, I really like. If I was to include him, I would probably drop Windhager and Wilkie. There's no need to have those little sprinkle, sub $1.20 players if you include someone like that. But if I was to include $1.40, I don't know, Max Gawn has been having a fucking absolute beast season at the moment. Ever since he kind of had those personal issues and are highlighted in the media, he has just turned around and just been the most dominant ruckman.
Everyone is still the best ruckman. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going against Rowan Marshall, who's in every right, pretty good ruckman himself. But Max Gawn, $1.48 when he's. Actually, no, I'd probably still go Langdon. I'm just having a look. Ed Langdon averaging 26 posies in his last 3. Max Gawn just getting there. But the point is, there's a couple of good... Yeah, there's some good value and stuff here. So if you don't like a couple of the others, maybe switch out for one of these players.
Well, Melbourne have turned their season around, and that's pure. And Ed Langdon is a big part of him moving to that half-forward role to allow... It's freed up Petrarca a bit. So now, does that all go to shit when Viney comes back? I don't know, but I do like Ed Langdon at the moment.
Wait, who did I highlight as my... Oh, Petrarca. I haven't highlighted him here. I was like, have I not highlighted a... I'm just doing that now. But yeah, I'm...
Yeah, like truck in this one.
I'm kind of, talking myself into Ed Langdon. But yeah, I like Petrarca more. When we scroll down to the 25 posse bracket, he's $1.75 for 25, averaging 28 in his last 3, 26 for the year. His misses were all sort of like low 23, so he's getting there, but he is that, Petrarca used to be playing like a lot more forward. Actually, question without notice, I'll have a quick look now. I reckon his CBAs have spiked. Oh, actually, they're kind of similar. So he did have this first month, he was getting anywhere, he had one 81% game, but if we ignore that, they were all roughly 50% when he was doing that forward experiment. Since that's kind of over, and Clayton Oliver's been struggling, Christian Petrarca has been going 65 to 80. He got a 94% CBAs. But since his CBA spike, he's getting a lot of the footy. So I really like Petrarca.
Are we worried about the windy tag on him?
No, I don't know. Not really. I maybe a little bit's there, but I think Windhager will play his own game, and if things get out of control, they will tag, but I don't think it's going to be their first thought. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. I feel like just when tagging's back, then some teams don't do it, like that game last night where I thought for sure they'd tag Nick Dacos, they don't. It's just, I don't know, sometimes with clubs.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Marcus Windhager for 25. Oh, sorry. Why am I saying Windhager? Wangani Miller, $1.28. He's only had one miss, and it was by one posse. I feel like, is this one? This is an Alice Springs, this game. I think
it's in Darwin. Sorry, we keep talking about Marvel.
Yeah, no, Darwin. So I think this will be a great game for him. He is in red hot form. I like him no matter what. He's kind of like I was going to say my first pick, but Petrarca slightly trumps him. But yeah, I really like Wangani Miller in the back line. Same as Jack Sinclair there, but if I was to go one, I'd rather go Wangani Miller. Goal scorers, I've highlighted Wood, but since talking about his role change back to the wing, I probably like that a little bit, or his goal scoring thing a little bit less now.
Sorry, are we gold on track for 20?
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, who would you rather?
No, I thought he was for 25. I'm like, he might struggle with 25. I'm like, 20. He'll piss 20 in.
Yeah, and he's $1.20, 10 out of 10. I feel like $1.20, 10 out of 10 is almost like my favorite. If that's almost more favorite. I like that better than like green and green.
Yeah. He's going to piss that in.
Yeah, I think so. Jack Higgins, I've highlighted again. We got him off. So I said he was 99% of that game, he was on donuts. And when I say donuts, I mean 0 goals, 0 behinds. I think he was on 5 posies. Had such a quiet stinker. Yes, it was against Gold Coast Suns, who are arguably pretty good at the moment. This is against Melbourne. Melbourne are in good form. I don't know if they're a Gold Coast at the moment, but Jack Higgins, surely will bounce back. Great price there. I haven't included him, but yeah, maybe for a different bet.
I love him for 2.
He's 8 out of 10. He was 9 out of 10. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I think Melbourne as well. Like, think about Melbourne's defense. It's Stephen May. It's Lever. Jake Bowie doesn't defend. Salem doesn't really defend. They don't really play shut down necessarily down there. They're big boys.
Yeah, so. I feel like if you were to include Higgins, you'd have to remove Windhager or Wilkie or someone like that. I feel like Petrarca, it goes Petrarca, Wangani Miller, Burns for me, and then you'd have to swap them out. I couldn't get too greedy, but yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we've gone for smaller, safer bets over the Jack Higgins, I think, is probably the way we've looked at it.
Even though 8 out of 10 doesn't seem too bad, averaging 2.6 goals.
Oh, mate, he's a fucking good player. So.
Yeah, no, he is. Let's move on to the last
one. Might actually, sorry, I know we're talking the ruse, but one we might have to start looking at for 2 goals is Jamie Elliott. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, actually, for the Pies game, yeah, we'll definitely consider that. He's, yeah, looking really good. So is Collingwood. For the last game of the round, the West Coast Geelong game. So, again, I did this bet before the Sunday squads were up. So, I think the odds I got might be slightly different. I think this is just around $3 at the moment now. But, speaking from the green and green, I love so here we go. We've got two of my favorites, right? We have a $1.20 player for $10. We have a green and green player. We have another $1.20 for 10. These are some of my favorite, like these three, absolute favorites. Love them in. Jono, you're a huge fan of Ryan Marrick regardless, though, right?
Aren't we all a fan of Ryan Murray?
Yeah,
Like,
he popping off. The only, I'll just say this, the only slight concern, Liam Duggan, get the fuck out of the goal square. Like, what the fuck? He's taken so many kickouts at the moment for West Coast.
I know.
Some of them were when Ryan Marrick was off, but I said this in the review. This was the first game, excluding round one when this transition of Ryan Marrick in the back line happened. If you take that out, since round two, this is the first time someone else has taken more kickouts than Ryan Marrick. So, not nothing to lose our heads about, but just something.
And I think we're big on Ryan Marrick. Like, we're going to ride him until it dies. So
yeah,
until he misses, there's no reason to not keep going back there.
Yeah, Ryan Marrick.
There's no role change.
No, it's the exact same role. He has to give me a 13 or a 15 posi game for me to even second guess him. If he's getting 18, 19, I'll still back him the next week.
Yeah, exactly. And also back at Optus this week. So I know it's a little it's not huge for West Coast, but it should help him a bit more.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I've gone Tom Atkins. I've literally said I'm not a huge fan of
machine.
Yeah, he's tackling machine. It doesn't really help with the posies, but I feel like
against he'll get a couple holding the balls, I reckon, against this West Coast midfield.
Yeah, potentially. So. I was saying I don't usually like a defensive mid. It's very hard to not include him when his one miss has been 14 posies. And against a bottom mid, literally bottom of the ladder, 18th West Coast, I feel like even your defensive mid will be getting 15, no worries. Ryan Marrick we spoke about. Bailey, actually I'll get to Bailey Smith last. Brian Myers, still green and green. He is your half forward. Great inside 50 kick. Geelong look for him. What more can you say about Myers? He's $1.53, 9 out of 10, and he's going up against West Coast. I feel like...
Well, what did we get? We got him at $1.90 last week, and we couldn't believe it. So.
He was on, I think, 8 at quarter time or something. Yeah, that was insane. What the fuck?
Yeah, and $1.50 is still insane for him.
Yeah, so, can't believe that $1.90 pick. But yeah, so Brian Myers, jump in the bet slip. Bailey Smith, so I really like him. He has now hit every game in Geelong colours, 10 out of 10. It's finally great to see that form colour go green for Bailey Smith. It's huge. But you might think he's a laid out or something, Jono?
Yeah, I think we've probably a lot of us heard that interview with BT after the game saying that his shins are quite sore and he didn't think he was going to play the Western Bulldogs game. It has been, 10 days since that game when this game will start, so maybe he's fine. I just think... But we do have a very quick swap out for Bailey Smith for that one. If Bailey doesn't play, it's Max Holmes. It's a straight swap.
I think so too.
Max for $20 as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, Bailey Smith 25 out if he is out, and Max Holmes for 20 in. But you'll have to be quick because Max Holmes. Let's just quickly scroll down. Max Holmes is $1.20 as it stands.
If he's going to plummet.
Yeah. If Bailey Smith is a late out, he's going to go to $1.05 or something. So
yeah. We'll go back to the start of them anyway. Work your way, but yeah, I do like if Bailey plays in this game, West Coast aren't really going to tag. It's just if he's serious about winning the Brownlow, this is the type of game he just has to piss into 3 votes.
Yeah, exactly. So. Nick Dacos has had a slow start. He's turned it around a bit, but I think Bailey Smith is just hot on his heels right now for Brownlow form, so he's got to keep this form up. For the rest of the 15, I could highlight Liam Duggan just because he seems to be getting a shoe in for those kickouts at the moment. Tom Stewart. I've highlighted. I probably wouldn't go. He's had a recent stretch of bad form, and you're asking an old boy backline player against a bottom team to get 15 plus.
Where there could be fuck all inside 50s.
Yeah. The only reason I've highlighted him is just because he's got runs on the board previously, but I wouldn't bet on him, especially.
I think it's almost like an unwritten rule against Geelong to not bet the opposition's defense against them. So against West Coast.
Well, because when any team who's played West Coast, their backline has usually struggled to get a lot of the footy. So these players like Lawson Humphreys, I haven't highlighted Zach Guthrie. I probably don't need to highlight Humphreys or Stewart, but for that price, I just wouldn't do it. So
Yeah, the ball won't be down there enough.
yeah. Tom, I'm just going to unhighlight them. I don't know, just don't feel it. Jack Graham has only had one miss in West Coast colours. It was a 14. I feel like he's every reason to hit this week.
He should continue. I think he's probably the one that it won't be a hard tag, but he'll match up with Bailey at centre bounces.
Yeah, so he's going to be around the best player, well, one of the best players at the moment. So, I feel like he's every chance. Tom Atkins, I spoke about. Even in his poor games, he's got a 14, so I feel like he will get a lot of the footy. Sean Manor, ever since he's come into the game, I think he's played 2 months now. I think his first or second game was that 13 miss, and then he's just been smashing it. And there's still no danger, right? So I think
no danger.
No danger. So again, not to do these without notice. Did Sean Manor? No, he didn't still get any CBAs. I thought he might have just come in for a little bit, but
he doesn't need them.
No, he still gets a lot of the footy because he'll play around stoppages anyway, but it's just not the direct CBAs.
As soon as the ball goes up, he just runs to where the ball goes. So
your boy Harley Reid.
Yeah, this one might be. I feel like Tom Atkins will be. Tom Atkins is that type of guy that does need a role sometimes, and I feel like is there anyone else at West? Maybe it's Tim Kelly. They send Tom Atkins to. I don't know, but it's maybe Harley. But I don't know, Harley for 15. He should piss that in. I don't mind.
Well, I don't know if he'll piss. So the reason I haven't included him, Harley Reid, he's had one game over 20 plus posies. I feel like he's getting 16, 15, 17, 13, 18. He's just getting by. If I see Harley Reid play just predominantly mid, sure, I'll bet on him. But just these games where he's playing a quarter or two in the forward line and he gets 1 or 2 posies, I hate playing catch up with Harley Reid. So great value. I don't know. I think I need someone to just be getting a little bit more over 15 plus posies for me to bet on him for that bracket. But
yeah. That's fair. And I was really, West Coast only win this game if Harley Reid goes bonkers. So it's Geelong is probably maybe in the back of your mind, all right, if we stop it, if there's any chance, any sign that Harley Reid's going to start to pop off, they'll shut him down.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Mitch Duncan, fucking never betting on him again if he plays the wing. That I've never seen. Yeah, why would you play is he 33 or something? 300 game.
300th game.
Played him on the wing. I mean, I get the incentive. Let's maybe play him around the ball. He gets more touches. He is much better in the half-back role there. So whether he plays wing or half-back, it doesn't matter for this game. I just don't like him because he's not going to get the footy.
100% sub risk.
Yeah. Oh, no, fuck that
because
shits me.
Last week he kicked up a big stink about how I'm not starting sub in my 300th. Well, it's his 301 game now, mate. So it's the fucking best of.
Do you know what game time he got for that as well? I think from the top of my head, I think he got 59% game time.
So they're we're going to do everything but sub you out of the game.
Yeah, literally, you're going to play like a sub.
Yeah, you're just going to play as much. Their sub probably played more than he.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking wild. So anyway, I was super flat about that. So yeah, I'm not betting on Mitch Duncan again. Moving on to the 20 plus bracket. Actually, no, I was going to highlight Mark Blitzav's too much of a roller coaster, and I don't know, just don't want it. Moving on to the 20.
You were going to highlight Mitch Duncan, and I was about to hang up.
Max Holmes, we spoke about. He's great value now. I mean, probably no harm in betting on him now anyway, because he'll probably come up around, he will come up around the ball a lot. So I like Max Holmes, and his price, you'll get him at a good price now before Bailey Smith is a laid out. Even if he's not, I still include him anyway. I just think the players I've got at the moment just trump him.
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could almost swap Atkins out for Max Holmes. But yeah, Ryan Marrick sung his praises so much. Liam Baker, so coming off halfback, 2 18s in a row, but for his whole time at West Coast, there is only 2 misses. Otherwise, he was just hitting non-stop, whether he plays in the midfield, on ball, or he's playing on the back line. I'm wondering if it's more now because that Liam Duggan role, he's coming back and taking a lot of the chippies. Does Liam Baker not have to try too hard? Or I don't know. But funnily enough, I still like Liam Baker. So for him to have 2 18 games, I'm happy to back a player after a miss. 2 misses, yeah. If there's another miss, then I will then start to reconsider things. But for the meantime, I still like.
Yeah, Liam Baker, he's the boy. I think we go. Yeah, I like him a lot too. Ryan Marrick, obviously the GOAT there. Grind, obviously where a lot of value is. Liam Duggan, don't know. Do you just like the new role?
Oh yeah, 100%. He was just taken a lot of the kickouts, and he took kickouts when Ryan Marrick was off. He also took them when he was on. So Ryan Marrick was down there, and he's like told him to bugger off, and he'll take him. So yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah, literally. I'm like, so he's the captain. Oscar Allen is doing like nothing, or co-captain. So yeah, I just think Liam Duggan has just really put his foot down of late. He's not setting the world on fire, but if he's got that role of the back line, especially with no Mitch McGovern ever coming back, and I think West Coast are like, okay, we can't have Ryan Marrick just getting all the kickouts. He'll have to share it a bit. So I think Liam Duggan, and we've seen it with like Zach Merritt, we've seen it with some of the captains, some of the good players. I'll have to get thrown back there maybe to find some form and stuff. But yeah, Liam Duggan back there is getting a lot of it, so highlighted him.
Yeah, yeah, love him a lot down there. So
yeah.
The interesting one will be we're gonna have to start to weigh in next week. I forgot his name. It's the kid who went number 1 in the mid-season draft. He's a centre half back who likes to use the ball. I feel like he could be a bit of a worrisome factor for Ryan Marrick. So
is this anyone in the game at the moment? It's not.
No. He's not picked this week, but he will be picked a week later.
No, well, I still like Ryan Marrick no matter what. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to ride him until he dies, but yeah, that's someone we need to consider because I assume he's just going to get plugged straight back into that back line. So.
Onto the 25. So we've highlighted Bailey Smith. Max Holmes, I could almost go for 25. Like, I know he doesn't have the form on his side, but against a weaker team, and in his last 3, averaging 28, so got a couple of 30s in there. Excuse me. Yeah, I really like Max Holmes, but just that's kind of going off like a whim. Like, you're like, oh, I'm expecting him to have a good game against a bottom team. I would rather go safety and security first and back recent form than like what I think is going to happen. So I've highlighted him there just for great value, but I'd rather go Smith and Holmes for 20 first. Goal scorers, I've highlighted no one in the bracket here.
It's a good vector, isn't it? Fuck.
Yeah. Jesus. Well, Ollie Dempsey for 2. So again, still, while there's no Dangerfield, Ollie Dempsey, I thought he'd play more forward, but he still played a lot wing in that game against the Doggies.
Sorry, question without notice, James. Jez for 2.
Who?
Jeremy Cameron for 2.
I'll have a quick look. While that's loading, Ollie Dempsey had that stretch. I think if he kicked 2 that game, it would have been like some record broken. They were talking about it during the game.
Oh, he was on track to break the record.
Oh, okay.
But now obviously that's dead in the ass.
Yeah, but either way, he's still kicking a goal. $1.16. Yeah, against West Coast, I feel like he's every chance. Oh shit, I'm probably liking him a lot more at the moment now. $1.85. That is huge odds. Is he still that at the moment? He is. Jeremy Cameron. Oh my god, $1.11 for 2 goals.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, yuck. And he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is his odds for 2. $1.11, 6 out of 10. So that's what you're looking at right there. 2 oranges.
Yeah, and also like you say that's 6 out of 10, but last 2 weeks with no danger.
Yeah, true. Oh, actually,
7 and 6.
Yeah, actually, I'm really liking Ollie Dempsey. $1.85. Fuck, I think I'm gonna do a separate bet with like him and Ryan Marrick. Anyway.
For 3.
Oh, that's very tempting. Anyway, so there's no other goal scorers I really like. I mean, it could go fucking Jack Williams or I don't know. I don't like it. Or Liam Ryan. Nah, don't like any of them. What am I saying? Ollie Henry, what the fuck? He's $1.26. He's had a very quiet start to the year.
He's so dangerous. I don't know. You could try and get him on a bounce back, but he's been so out of form.
Yeah. Well, he's hitting his last month. He's going up against the bottom side. Surely he gets
gifted one. Yeah, against the West Coast, he needs to show that he can still play. Yeah.
Jonah hates him because he's a ex-Collingwood boy.
Yeah, he left.
Dirty trader.
But he's starting to. He's got subbed out last game as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just highlighting.
They subbed him out over Mitch Duncan.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, Mitch Duncan's copping the sub this week. Anyone else you want to speak about, or summarize or recap now?
No, I think that's pretty good.
No, nice. Well, I figured we'll end it here. Hopefully, we have a positive week. Man, we have lost a lot of our profits from the start of the week. We were at like over $1,000. We're 600 at the moment, so we're in the buy round. So hopefully, it's a little less carnage. There's not as many losses to be had. But also, if there are games that you don't like, please feel free not to bet on them. As Jono and I have just shown an example, don't like the GWS Richmond game at all. So we're going to enjoy our sad days, right, Jono?
exactly right. I'm gonna stay in bed and recover.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go for a run. I'm gonna play a fuck ton of games. I'm just gonna absolutely chill. I don't have to watch it. Don't need to see it. Don't need to worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Like only games left worth watching really for me are the Sydney Adelaide. Maybe the Freo Gold Coast might have a bit in it, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm a footy fiend. I'll probably watch all of them, but I'm happy to skip that one if I'm not betting on it. But
yeah,
yeah. No. Anyway,
yeah,
hopefully we have a positive week. Thank you guys. Sorry for the having this a little bit
yeah. Sorry
late.
for the fuck around, guys, with me being sick and yeah,
Oh yeah. How dare you if I catch a cold? So
yeah,
nah, that will be good.
exactly right. Make sure you gamble responsibly, guys.
Yep, gamble responsibly. The buy round next week should not be as bad. There's only two buy rounds, or two teams with the buy round. But yeah, we'll hopefully, aim to bounce back after this shit couple of weeks. But until then, we'll talk to you
Yeah,
guys next week.
and if we see another fucking concussion injury, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
I was just complaining in the YouTube comments. I'm like, I'm picking an injured player like 1 to 2 times a week. Like, I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, hopefully we bounce back. But yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week and see you then. All right, peace.